And then when I went for the next follow-up, which is a scan, just to see how I've recovered from the surgery, they say that they could still see some red spot on the scans, but they'd warned me before the surgery, saying that if they see anything suspicious, no matter how small, the next step is they're going to give me chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Which is what happened. And chemotherapy was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was very traumatic. Yeah. I think because I was well, I did not have symptoms, and then to get treatment that makes you feel so unwell, it was traumatic to me. Yeah. I felt like my body has undergone through something brutal.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah, go on.
3 months on, so here I am. I finished chemo in January. So here I am. I can smile again.
You say just your story just characterized by that bravery, going through those life's challenges and the bravery of it, going through it, and having that faith that is actually carrying you and giving you that positive mental attitude to carry on and be here and still be smiling like you are. That should give a lot of people, hope and belief that, it is possible to fight these life's challenges just like you have done, and that is a lot of people will find a lot of inspiration in that. So, thank you very much for coming to share with us with that as well. So how of course, like you say, you've got your faith and it's carried you, but what else has build you up to have this resilience and this positive mental attitude to still be smiling and be battling it and making sure that you can still carry on?
So first of all, I just need to mention about, I think, awareness. So the first thing is, when I found that lump, I went to be checked straight away. I did not fuss about. I went to be checked. I think sometimes the fear can make you not do anything. It makes you just be paralyzed and not do anything. So if anyone was to go through, sometimes don't doubt yourself. You need to go and get checked, or just mention something to someone to help you, to say, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Hopefully it's not people who will make you very fearful. Anyway, the resilience is because of I read a lot, which is a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing. It can be a bad thing if you go to Dr. Google, but I did not go to Dr. Google. So I had a friend who I work with, and she's been very supportive. There was things that I didn't understand. Even I am a nurse, but there's things that I did not understand. And if I was doubtful, I wanted a bit more information, I used to ask her to go and read for me, go and check. I'll say, this is the treatment that they want me to have, or this is the diagnosis that they've given me. So she would go and read it and break it down to me gently. So when she came back to me, she did not come with she came with positivity to me. So I think, and then that would encourage me to listen, to hear, and then to go and read. But I didn't go to read just on my own, because every time when I first got diagnosed, when I went to read, I was so scared, because you get all these statistics that are scary, and you're thinking, I'm going to be dead within a month. So I had to come up with my own strategy of speaking to this my work colleague, actually, and I would say, this is what they've said, because I had to write down everything, because I would forget things. So I'd say, this is what they've said, and then she'd go and look it up and come back to me. She'd go and look up the treatment and come back to me. And in the background, I also plugged myself into church, and I would go and meet with people from my church. I'd go to all sorts of meetings, and they would pray with me. They would give me verses. They would send me text messages, words of encouragement. So that also helped me. So I sort of closed it to all the noise. I didn't want to hear I've got some people, some family members who they might wonder I did not speak to them, or they don't know, they'll find out from this interview. But it's because I decided to just tell a few people and to encourage me, so that I was not afraid. So I could just focus on the treatment and not get too much sympathy from people, because I've been through it for a long 2 more times. What happened with the first time is, when I tell people the diagnosis, the face would drop, and then they would make me afraid. So so I didn't want that. I needed people who were strong, who were going to carry me, be strong, and encourage me and stay positive. So that's what I did. I just surrounded myself with people who I felt they were going to help me.
That's great points there. Like, I mean, first, like you mentioned about the awareness, if people have got the slightest of suspicions of what's going on, it's better to get checked early. Better to be safe than sorry. It's at least if you get checked, even if there's something there, you can get treatment early before things actually get worse as well. But also, the important point you touch on there about the network and the people around you who can help you with that positive mental attitude to actually drive you. Because, I mean, science itself does confirm that, the things that we perceive and think about and our mental state actually has an impact on the chemical makeup of our bodies as well. So it can make things better or worse. So to be in that good, positive mental state, does work to your advantage as well. So there is that element of picking the right people who you think are strong enough to actually help you to understand what is going on, the seriousness of it, but also how being in the right frame of mind is part of the package of the treatment to get you better as well. So, and it looks that it's worked wonderfully for you, and you're still smiling, which is great. So in terms of the kind of things that this experience would have made you to look at changing in your life, like your vision and the things that you want to do, and it's brought some urgency to it. What kind of things came into being as a result of this experience? It could be, any impact on work or business, or you thought about doing things that you had been putting off before, and now you got a chance to say, reprioritize your life so that you can do certain things. Talk us through some of that.
So the first thing is, I think I started telling people the truth. I don't know whether it's a good thing or not. Before, I would not tell people the truth and just listen to them. But these days, when someone says something, and I'll just tell them the way I feel or the way I see the situation. The other thing is, we looked at our finances. Me and Grey, we looked at our finances, and the things that were a priority then are not a priority in our lives anymore. So we have sort of changed, and we're being intentional in what we do. But I do find joy. I've always been that person who is helpful. So I like to help other people. I've always helped people back home in Malawi, like with school fees and things like that. But I think I have sort of intensified. I want my money to have an impact on someone's life, and not. So I would choose, instead of buying maybe a new dress or a new handbag, I would weigh it up and think, you know what? Let me give this to so and so that they can go and pay their school fees. So I've been looking at people in my village, say, who does well in school and needs school fees. So I've been helping a few people. I think is that I find joy in that when I'm helping someone else, instead of just wasting my money on McDonald's or places like that. So work-wise, I am also, like said, I used to be afraid and not say what I want in work. So I've been able to talk to my managers and say that, look, this is what I'm going through. How can you help me? And I've had a positive response. Now I'm able to work from home, whereas before I think I would just sit there and just continue going to work thinking this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I think I've learned to open up a bit more and to be truthful and just to look at my situation and then weigh things up, which I never used to do. Like I said before, we were just living, just getting up and going to work. So that's all stopped. We're looking at investments, which which we do have, but I think we were not prioritizing that. It was just one of those things that let's do, or we will do it another time. But now we're sort of serious about it.
Wow. So life's challenges do bring a change in perspective, isn't it? The things that were a priority, or you applied certain meaning to it, all of a sudden may have a different meaning, and new priorities and things will emerge with a different meaning. Just like you say now, that contribution to others that you're doing to help people back home to lift themselves up as well and break through into success, whether it's education or some personal development, has come into with a particular meaning to you. So that's been great. So what would be your advice, knowing what you now know and the different meaning of life and contribution that you say? What would be your advice to people in general about life and how they should see it and how they should go about, prioritizing and putting things that are important ahead in order to do things? What would be your advice based on your experience so far?
I think it should be intentional. That's one word that you have to be intentional with your life, and also investing in yourself. Once you invest in yourself, I think you can overcome different obstacles, because sometimes if you're depending on people all the time, they let you down. When they let you down, you start blaming the people and not blaming yourself. So I've learned that sometimes I have to look at myself as well. Look at myself, look at my behavior, and then invest in the things that I'm lacking. So I look at me first before I start pointing fingers at other people.
Wow.
That's one thing. The other thing I've learned from here, the reason I'm talking to you, it's because with my first experience, I thought I was just going to deal with it and just keep quiet about it. Because I don't like to be the center of attention. I just like to do things and just be quiet. But I thought, you know what, maybe just speaking up might help one person. So even from today, if we're going to help one person, then I've done something instead of just keeping quiet. Because people sometimes, they will see me, they'll say, oh, she's gone through this, and yet this is how she's behaving. Maybe that will help someone. So this is why I've decided that let me speak up about this, that we might be smiling, but behind the scenes, we're also going through difficult situations. But speak up and find people who will hold your hand, who are good to you, who are celebrating you, and then they'll help you overcome. And plugging into a higher power, whether it's for myself, it's God, and I believe, because I'm a Christian, I believe in God, and I find comfort going to church and talking to people who are Christians like me. It also helps. So have a belief and, plug into that so that they continue to speak into your life positive things.
Wow, that's great advice there, Angela. Thank you. and so when you look to the future, what is the vision for you? Like 5 years, 10 years down the line and more, where would you see yourself, or where would you like to be, or what impact would you like to have had on the planet or to people in general?
I've done more in the last 3 years than I've done, I think, in all my life. But what I see in the next 5 years is raising the children. So they 16 and 18, but we're sort of investing a lot in them. I will not do what my parents did, telling me what to do. So I've just put the foundation for them, but I'll leave them to go whichever direction they want to go, and we will just be behind and support the children in whatever they want, whichever direction they would like to go to. Would also like to own my own business, which is a dream that's been there for a very long time, but I just haven't done anything about it. And I think this is the first step to me owning my own thing. You've been mentoring me, obviously. You were mentoring me before all this happened. So I haven't forgotten about that. I still want to impact other people by having, I think having a business would help other people. It's not for me, really. It's just for a source of income to also help other people and bring joy to me at the same time. So I want to follow things that bring joy to me. So talking finances brings joy to me. Anything about finances, that brings joy to me. And it's something that I have invested in the last 3 years. So I would also like to share that knowledge with other people.